Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, in this video we will have our discussion on this upcoming new moon which is going to be taking place as per the US time. It is going to be taking place on November 30th, and as per the local Indian Standard Time it's going to be taking place on December 1st. Now in so many ways this new moon is kind of little bit distinctive, and based on your moon sign, based on your ascendant, it becomes little bit important to know that in which capacity, in which specific area of your life it is going to be influencing you. Guys, the general traits which are always attached with any new moon is that it is a time when you have to pay your respect towards your departed ancestors. We also say that for all those people who tend to have some sort of psychological issue, going through depression and anxiety, so this tend to remain a time when your emotion sinks too deep. Like the way there is a very famous saying that the night is the darkest before the dawn. So all those things get applicable at the time of the new moon. Now why I said this thing that this new moon is little bit sensitive, because it is going to be taking place in a zodiac sign where moon tend to remain little bit afflicted. So being taking place in the Scorpio sign, within Scorpio taking place in the Anuradha nakshatra, so a lot depending on the qualities of the Anuradha nakshatra is going to be getting valid in your life as well. Now guys, and not only that, before I will start giving you explanation of the traits of the Anuradha, it's just like that in this new moon lot of the other planets are also participating. They are also reinforcing their qualities, because if moon is going to be there in the Scorpio, so it is going to be in a exchange with the transiting planet Mars as well. Now we cannot say this thing that this exchange is putting Mars in a competitive state, because Mars in the Cancer is always debilitated. So that means Mars is in the zodiac sign ruled by the moon, and moon is in a zodiac sign being ruled by the planet Mars, but they both are debilitated, they both are afflicted. Now Jupiter from the Taurus sign is going to be giving its straight aspect. Planet Saturn for the from the Aquarius sign is going to be giving its aspect. So as you can see over here that it's not only our soul, our subconsciousness is going to be going through the turmoil, is going to be going through the anguish, but other planets are also imparting their qualities to this churning up. Second thing is that like the way guys, it all comes down to how strongly it is getting applicable in your case. Like for example, if I were to present my own life as well, so from numerology I am in the personal year of the number 2. In my dasha I am in the moon antardasha. In terms of the transit I am also in the Sadesati. If I were to talk about the Anuradha nakshatra, in my case both my ascendant lord and my 10th and the 11th lord planet Saturn, they both are conjunct and placed in the Anuradha. So that is the only reason guys, you have to understand astrology, and the precision of your prediction is dependent on that one specific event is getting validated, getting confirmed from how many multiple direction. And if you're getting the validation, affirmation from multiple direction or places, then you can be confident that the probability of the happening of the event or this situation is going to be very high. So obviously you have to also pay attention that how strongly you are right now under the control of the moon. If you are in the antardasha of the moon, this will become important for you. And in any case, any of the alignment of the new moon or full moon or eclipse is always very important for the Cancer Lagna and the Leo Lagna, or this could be if your moon sign is Cancer or your moon sign is Leo, then also it will become important for you. So guys, all what we can say is that do not think about bringing any forceful, any sudden change around this time. If somehow you are being overwhelmed by the feeling of lack, by the feeling of any vengeance, any hurtful feelings, because it is Scorpio, then also try to calm yourself down, indulge into activities which are very therapeutic, which are very relaxing. So that is the right way of dealing with the surge of energy which is going to be taking place. Now we cannot overlook the importance of the nakshatra over where this whole alignment is taking place. So guys, when we talk about the Anuradha nakshatra, now Anuradha is being ruled by the planet Saturn. Anuradha somehow, like the god which preside over it is the Mitra. So generally the traits which has been explained about this nakshatra is that the prominence of this nakshatra can take you away from your birthplace. The prominence of this nakshatra can also give you lot many friends as well, but just because all of this takes place in the energy of the Scorpio, which is very hidden energy, so lot many times it has been seen that these people have this capacity to run away, like if their feelings get hurt or if they are not getting success in the place where they are living, so they have this tendency and capacity to run away. And just because the energy of the Scorpio makes them little bit hidden as well. So in our ancient scriptures, they have been also explained as the secret sinner, like Gupt Papi. I mean to say that just because you have been living away from the public's eye, from your family, from your spouse, and you develop this habit of drinking, of smoking, of doing some drugs, so all those kind of activities which you have to hide from the world, from your family, from the society. Now guys, the good part about this nakshatra is that this nakshatra also has got the capacity to completely surrender for a cause, to completely surrender in the devotion. Like one of the symbol attached with the Anuradha is also a plate filled with the cooked rice, which is about to be served to the god as a sacrosanct. And one of the symbol attached with this nakshatra is the wand or stick of a magician. So that also tells about that they are clever and they are also very smart enough for gaining the resources for their success. Like generally it has been seen that even if these people tend to be away from their birthplace, or like these guys tend to reach a foreign land, so it's not like that they tend to suffer there. A lot many times it has been seen that once they migrate to a new place, you can call this their strong aura, their strong charm, or their intelligence, their adroitness. They are even able to make connection with the prominent influential people of that country, of that society as well. So yes guys, these all are the mixed qualities which can be attached with the Anuradha nakshatra. Now you must be wondering that okay, if this new moon is taking place in the Anuradha nakshatra, so specifically precisely how it can influence us. So guys, it can influence you in this way that if you're already going through, see, one thing is for sure, any of the time period of the full moon or the new moon is never ever a good energy for a equilibrium, balanced state of your mental health. Our emotions, our feelings tend to go through waves, goes through fluctuation, and specifically at the time of the full moon we exaggerate the feelings, and at the time of the new moon we undermine the feelings. So I would say that if you're already going through any of the concerns of the depression, anxiety, then that could peak during the time of this new moon. If you're already living away and you are living in isolation, so that feeling of isolation, getting those feelings that whether have I taken a right decision for moving away from my family, shall I go back? So those feelings might be a overwhelming factor for many. Or this could be a case that if you're already going through some issues in your matrimonial life, and like where you're trying to convince your parents to agree to your choice of partner, so over there as well the whole equation can suddenly go very intense. Like the way guys, it has been said, out of all the 27 nakshatra in the older times in India, like all those girls, because arranged marriage is a thing, and all those girls who used to run away to get married to a partner of their choice, they tend to be somehow in the influence of the Anuradha nakshatra. So if you're already having some issue of agreeing your parents regarding the person you are dating and all, so over there as well the whole equation and situation can certainly get intensified. And yes guys, because there's a lot of the cleverness and capacity to hide things in the Anuradha nakshatra. So this could be a case that if you're already indulged in something which is kind of little bit controversial, or which is kind of bordering around the matters of what is legal and illegal. So suddenly things get exposed. Suddenly there's going to be some fear, looming fear of some inquiry, of some investigation, of some sort of police raid and all. So all those vulnerability tend to remain whenever planets are working around the domain of the Anuradha nakshatra. Like the way, guys, I already mentioned this thing. Understand this thing as the night is darkest before the dawn. So this could be a case that the feelings will peak, the events will peak in order to lay foundation to something new. And over here, because other planets are also participating, so this could be a case that whatever is gonna happen or whatever is gonna come up, it is only going to be taking place for your purification, because the lord of the Scorpio, which is planet Mars, it is also kind of there in another water sign. And on, like, after 1 week only, on December 7th, Mars is also going to be turning retrograde. So some sort of purification, cleansing, and letting go of things which has been bothering you or hurting you for a long span of time. Now because Jupiter is also expecting it, so some sort of financial sudden speculative gain, that potential can also be attached with it, because Saturn is also expecting it, and Saturn is expecting from a position, from a place where it is hard bent on rewarding you something. Saturn in the Aquarius is in a very fast motion before it is going to be entering in the Pisces sign on March 29th. So that simply means that planets are somehow working towards your purification, towards your cleansing. But yes, in so many ways, lot many people will suddenly lose something, suddenly gain something. Emotions are going to be intense. So it is kind of making you stand a chance for losing or winning things. So over there, there is still strong possibility, but when it comes down to your emotional mental health, that is going to be on the radar. There is no solution for that, there is no hope for that. You have to take care of your emotional and mental health, and I'm very much sure by the time you will receive this video, we are just like 3-4 days ahead of it only. So you would have already felt that somehow the feelings of the hurt and repetitive thoughts, and somehow I'm not able to get out of any hurtful feelings and emotions and all. My mind and my soul, my attention is getting obsessed with things which did not work out well in the past. But that might be a case that it's just the purification and healing process through which you are going. So yes, guys, that is something which I wanted to say. Now let's briefly look at that, how based on all the rising signs or the moon sign it is going to be influencing you. If you were to ask me, I will recommend you watching it both from your ascendant and from your moon sign's point of view. Like the way we say that the actual physical development, transition, accomplishment and all might happen from the ascendant, but when we talk about from your moon sign, your emotions, your feelings, your attention span is going to be getting affected because of that. And generally, guys, we say this thing that during the time of the new moon, doing donation is always a healthy and a wise choice in the night, in the name of your ancestors. Okay, guys, let's start our discussion. When we talk about from the Aries people's point of view, so guys, in your case, beyond any doubt, sun and moon are going to be getting conjunct in your 8th house in the Anuradha nakshatra, so nakshatra of the planet Saturn. So guys, one thing is for sure, in certain way, this has got this capacity to, first of all, when we talk about your 4th house, when we talk about your emotions, so whatever churning up purification process is going to be taking place, and whatever soul level change which you will experience, they might be getting done in the direction of your big attainment, or this could be a case that you might be struck in the things which are not serving any purpose. So this whole emotional mental churning up which will take place, it is going to be happening with a bigger plan and purpose in mind, which has to do with that your focus has to be towards things which have got higher value, which has got higher purpose. So in certain way, like I will be very honest, it might be emotionally, mentally, little bit unsettling. But like the way, guys, any good astrologer will only advise you, and the best advice is always work as per your energies. do not go against the nature. The best form of standing a chance for the happiness, fulfillment, equilibrium in your life is work as per the nature. So I mean to say, if this is what nature aligning you, it might have some higher purpose to fulfill. Like the way, guys, we all know this thing that when we go to gym, we have to work hard, we have to train, we sweat. All those students who stay whole night, who are awake whole night preparing for the exams, they are putting themselves in trouble, but for some higher purpose, higher goal and reward to achieve. So that's what I'm saying. So for the Aries Lagna, yes, emotionally, mentally, it is unsettling, but the whole churning up is taking place for something higher reward and goal for you. Second thing is that, guys, obviously refrain from taking any major decision. This could be from your academics, or this could be connected with any of your artistic creative endeavor and all, or this could be any renovation, any house related final decision and all. So it will be much better that at least see, guys, you have to avoid, because your ascendant lord is also turning retrograde on December 7th. So I would say that the first 2 weeks of the December, till that time, avoid taking any major decision pertaining to the matters of the 4th house and 5th house, and be very observant. Some positive development can take place for the things which you have been participating or giving your efforts and inputs from the past so long. So this could be a time, if I were to summarize, it is a good time for standing a chance for some sudden turn around in the areas where you have been working from past so long. But when it comes down to doing anything fresh which involves the matters of your 4th house, which involves the matters of your 5th house, I would still say that keep it under restraint or control, or somehow avoid taking those fresh decision till the first 2 weeks of the December. That is what my advice for the Aries people. Now, guys, when we talk about from the Taurus natives point of view, so guys, in your case, this whole alignment is taking place, like this new moon is taking place in your 7th house in the Anuradha nakshatra. In your case, moon has got a rulership over your 3rd house and sun has got a rulership over your 4th house. So guys, the good part about this alignment is that it has something to do with the matters of your public domain, public dealing, guys, because this whole alignment is taking place in the Anuradha nakshatra ruled by planet Saturn, which is a yoga karak planet for you, and somehow divinity and the prospects of the luck is also having a strong say over here, because Saturn has got a rulership over the 9th house and the 10th house. So the only thing and the only area where I'm seeing you guys vulnerable is that somehow brooding too much over the past hurtful feelings and past hurtful entanglement with your partner. So in the matters of the 7th house, there is going to be those possibility where you have to deal with the hurtful kind of feelings and emotions and entanglements which might have happened with your partner, with your spouse. So regarding that front, it is making you vulnerable. But guys, I would say this thing, that if you are looking for a closure, if you're looking for a clarity, or this could be a case that any of your business consignment has been blocked from the past so many long time, so this could be a time of some renaissance, some renewal in your business efforts and your business endeavors. So guys, I'll be very honest with you, because even this whole exchange of the moon and the Mars is taking place in the domain of your 3rd house and the 7th house. So let's say, for example, you have got capacity to do lot many things, but somehow you feel yourself being blocked, that whenever I'm trying to do something, I'm facing the obstacle, I'm facing the resistance being posed by people around me. So during this time, there could be some sudden peak of the events which will eventually pave the path towards some further more clarity and ease of the execution of the events. So that can be said with confidence. Second thing is that yes guys, in your case as well, somehow the 4th house and the 7th house is getting affected. So I'm very much sure that the domestic life, this is not a very good time to brood too much over your emotions and your feelings. Or this could be a case that if you have not been treated well by people who are close to you, like, or you have been in any sort of toxic kind of relationship, you're already living in some sort of toxic environment, so there's going to be a blast of your, like, typically when we say that it's important for you to cry, for you to have, sometimes even the nervous breakdown is also important, because somehow whatever we are holding up deep within, it somehow gets released. So I would say this thing that yes, for the emotional release and all, this could be a good time, because guys, whatever is going to be taking place in the matters of your seventh house, this could be suddenly, randomly, some rude stranger encounter with a rude person on the street and all, and that might have given you some perspective, that might have given you some clarity. Because guys, understand this thing, whenever nature is in such sort of sensitive alignment, things happened as per a perfect universal plan. All what matters is that in which area it is influencing you. So in your case, like the way for the Aries Lagna, it was a typical hardcore 8th house energy. In your case, it's not like that. It has everything to do with the way you interact, you deal with people who are opposite to you. So that means, like, if you have been a snob, if you have been a racist, if you have been rude to people, so you might be treated with a similar way in order for you to give you that sort of clarity, to give you that sort of aware, awakened consciousness that how your conduct has to be out there in the world. So yes guys, all what I can say is that it is going to be the time for the Taurus Lagna native of some release of all the toxicity which they have been holding up, and this could be in their immediate, intimate, personal relationship, or any of the hurtful feelings which they have been carrying within themselves. There might be clarity over there. And guys, I would say this thing that in the matters of your blocked endeavors from the past, you have been finding yourself blocked, not being able to express yourself properly, and whether you are an artist, whether in the business front as well, any of those consignments and contract of yours are have been held back from past so long. You just want the other party to sign the document and send it over to you, and it is getting delayed because of XYZ reason. So some sort of sudden rapid development over there. So again, I want to be very clear, it could be good for your commercial success, for your reputation, public image. The whole process is going to be filled with tumultuous kind of experiences, but the eventual outcome might be good for your career, your public image. But when it comes down to deep, intimate, personal relationship and bonding, over there could be the exchange of some toxic, hurtful, negative emotions and feelings which you have to deal with. Like the way, we say this thing that oh my god, I felt very humiliated that day dealing with my partner, talking about those matters. I felt very humiliated. And again guys, be very cautious, be very careful. If you have listened to the beginning part of this video, Anuradha has got a reputation of hiding things, and in our scriptures it has been called as the secret sinner, Gupt Papi, I mean to say. So don't be surprised if suddenly you get to know that your partner has been indulging in debts, in gambling, in some sort of addictions and some sort of vices which you're not aware about, and suddenly that comes to you. So that's how guys, the purification and cleansing and these kind of encounters tend to remain a matter of shock, but somehow it paves path to the fresh beginning, clarity for us. So yes, that's all what I have to say for the Taurus natives. Now guys, when we talk about from the Gemini zodiac's point of view, so guys, in your case, it is going to be taking place in your 6th house. So first of all, because moon has got a rulership over your 2nd house as well, so you have to monitor your eating habits. Like generally people who become a victim of the food poisoning or something, it generally happens during these kind of alignment only, because 6th house also represents our health as well. Now again guys, like the way I've been saying this thing that sometimes what happens is that the energy of the new moon has got a lot to do with like where things goes bad to their worst, but then suddenly we have the clarity and we take the path which is meant for us. So I mean to say, because Anuradha nakshatra is being ruled by Saturn, which is an auspicious planet for you. Saturn in a way is transiting in your 9th house. So that means even if some punishment will come to you, it will only have some higher cause or goal to fulfill. So I would say that in this regard, in the matters of the credit and loans, there might be some sudden turnaround, sudden tumultuous events which you might have to deal with. Like in lot many cases I've seen that suddenly if you're leading a team, so suddenly your team is rebelling against you, or there might be some bad blood or some hurtful experiences which you have had in the past, and suddenly you have to deal with those people. Suddenly you are being asked for your misdeeds, and you're being put on a spot where like you have to face and own up to your own shortcomings and all. So this is how generally things happen. So yes guys, for all the purification and cleansing which is going to be taking place, like the area where you will be brooding too much in next few days is connected with the matters of the sixth house. So sudden attention, sudden focus going in the matters of the health, sudden attention and focus going in the matters of your credit, your financial health and all. So yes, and generally what happens is that, because guys, new moon is never an energy of having that clarity and your moon feeling fulfilled. It's just like that there have been those kind of ongoing lawsuit which you are dealing with, and suddenly the opposition party made a move which is putting you in a vulnerable zone. So just be very careful. Any aspect and matters of your sixth house, do not take it lightly. Or I would rather say, even if you have to, or you're planning to start or release some new campaign or make some very big financial investment and all, so my recommendation is that put it on a back seat at least for the very first 2 weeks of the December. After that you can take a call over there. Now guys, when we talk about from the matters of the Cancer zodiac sign, so guys, beyond doubt, for the Cancer and the Leo natives, whenever there is a eclipse, whenever there is a new moon, full moon, you guys are always vulnerable and prone towards it. Now guys, in your case, because it is going to be taking place in your fifth house, so yes, in the matters of like, beyond any doubt, Cancer natives tend to remain very doting, very caring parents. And let's say for example, if you're already dealing with any of the matters or issue pertaining to your children and all, so those issues can suddenly get intensified. So again guys, I want to say it very clearly that just be very mindful, just be very cautious that you do not have to brood too much over the matters of the fifth house. Like let's say for example, if you're like in that situation that you're trying to conceive and you're already going some issues over there, or you are dealing with the grown-up children which are like teenage kids and all, who are like rebelling too much, not listening to you. So generally guys, I have seen like a lot of my clients, like I still remember this one Cancer Lagna lady, I did a reading for her, and during that time she was in a very stressful time, like even in the dasha, and she was also in the Saturn Sadhasati as well, and she had a bitter and severe fight in the house, and she tried to end her life, drink something and all. So generally it happens, our emotions, our feelings are at its peak. And now again, when we talk about the Scorpio, so this is not a healthy emotion, understand this thing. Cancer is a feeling and emotions of nourishment. Pisces is a feeling of you are even willing and ready to sacrifice everything for the people you care for, you love. But when we talk about Scorpio, it's all the feeling of hurt. And the way other planets are like aspecting it, like Saturn, Jupiter, exchange with Mars, so all of that is not creating a very good energy. So I would say this thing, that be very mindful, be very careful if suddenly something happens which is going to be very hurtful to you. So because Mars is there in your first house, you will have the energy to fight back. But again, if you will be fighting back from a place of hurt, vengeance, revenge, you cause harm to me, I will also cause harm in return. So all these kind of entanglements never end well. So just be very careful, and mental health needs to be given utmost attention. Again guys, because the way other planets are supporting it, reinforcing it through their aspect, through the exchange, in certain cases, if your running dashas are favorable, some sudden turn of event can also make you stand a chance. Like suddenly there is sort of big opportunity which has come to you, because guys, the fifth house is also the 8th from the 10th house as well. In your case, Mars has got a rulership over it as well. So in certain ways, some churning up in the professional sphere. Like this could be a case that suddenly your boss is being sent to a different branch, and now you have been approached for that leadership role, for the same designation and all. So again guys, when it comes down to the professional sphere and other areas, avenues, this could be time of some reinforced consideration for a position as well. But when it comes down to your emotions, your feelings, and specifically any of the hurtful situation, entanglements of the life, the hurt aspect of the life might get intensified, might get exaggerated. Anyone is gonna do something which is something which you do not like, your response to that might be very exaggerated. So just be mindful, be very careful. And yes, in the matters of the children and the progeny, that could be a gray zone or a sensitive zone for the next couple of days for the Cancer people. Now guys, when we talk about from the Leo natives point of view, so guys, in your case now, as you can see that moon has got a rulership over your 12th house, and sun has got your ascendant rulership, and now this whole energy is going to be taking place in your 4th house. So yes guys, as much as it was vulnerable for the Aries natives, same way it is equally vulnerable for the Leo natives as well. Because guys, in your case, it is taking place in your 4th house. We all know this thing that 4th house is something over where our stability, our security, our emotional equilibrium, the prospects of peace are somehow connected with it. So lot many Leo Lagna natives, see guys, honestly speaking, because in your case moon has got a rulership over the 12th house as well, so it has got more to do with that. Suddenly you get to know about any close people who are very close to you, they have been conspiring against you. So the thing is, the good part is that whatever is happening behind your back, that can get exposed suddenly. All those areas where you have not been paying much attention, people you have been trusting blindly, so those people, double faced people, can suddenly get exposed. But the only concern is that that is going to be little bit sensitive, kind of little bit shocking to the Leo Lagna natives. So yes guys, if I were to say out of all the signs, zodiac signs, it's the Leo natives who are going to be little bit shock prone during this time. So guard your emotions, your feelings in a very efficient way. Second thing is that because it is taking place in the 4th house, mother's health needs to be watched, needs to be monitored. You will find that people within your domestic life, either they are like acting little bit hostile, little bit kind of whimsical, unpredictable, or people around you are just reminding you more of your shortcoming, of things which you have done wrong, things which have gone bad in the past, encounters and dealings and all. So just do not get affected more because of what other people have to say. Do not let other people undermine you. So that's all what I can say, because this is how people in your inner space, again guys, 4th house is not only about our domestic life, the house where we live, our like people close to us in our surroundings, but it also the kind of aura and energy which we live in. So I mean to say, do not let other people undermine your potential. That is one thing which I can say. Yes, all sort of negative uh, like you could call it panic attack, you could call it anxiety, you could call it being very much prone towards the evil eye, that is going to be at its peak. So I would say that if you're already in the dasha, like for example you are in the dasha of the moon, and within moon, so moon is making any combination in the dasha, like you are in the moon mahadasha or Saturn antardasha or the Rahu antardasha, Ketu antardasha, or you are in the Saturn mahadasha, moon antardasha, Ketu mahadasha, moon antardasha, Rahu mahadasha, or moon antardasha. So if moon in any way is active as well, so that will make you a very prime target or suspect for these kind of energies to harm you, attack you. So I would say that, like when you come back home, take a wash your feet with the Himalaya salt and all, we say this thing, or some people do it from the coffee as well. Or I would say if you can wear a black tourmaline bracelet, that also guard or protect your energies and all. So yes, you have to be very mindful, careful. Any of the matters of the 4th house, like this could be a case that suddenly there are like some expenses which you have to deal with, or suddenly some breakdown in the house and all. So all those possibilities are there. So yes, Ultimately guys, what happen is that people go through a lot of the experiences and all in the life, like at work people betrayed you, your close friend did not live up to his promise or expectation and all. But the only thing is that unless and until things are not bothering us in the fourth house, it did not stick to us. But the problem with the fourth house is that whatever happens over here, it somehow shake off our equilibrium, our peace prospects and all. So that is the only reason I'm saying this thing, that be very mindful that you do not have to brood too much over the hurt towards the all those things where people have not lived up to their promises and the set expectation from them. And yes, if you can manage your emotional mental health, it is going to be good. And yes guys, for like certain zodiac sign, there was still a possibility of some sudden turnaround of positive development as well. But in your case, whether we talk about from the house rulership of the moon, whether we talk about the nakshatra where it is taking place, Anuradha, the role of the Anuradha for you guys. So yes, all what I can say is that guard your emotional mental health. And I would say this thing, that if something is happening which is very hurtful, so this might be a purification and cleansing process through which you are going through. Now guys, when we talk about for the Virgo natives point of view, so guys, in your case, as you can see that the whole alignment of this new moon is taking place in your third house. So guys, obviously in the matters of the third house, you might certainly find yourself being blocked, or this could be a case that you are brooding too much over this, that I have not taken much initiative, the much things which I could have done for my younger siblings and all. So the whole churning up and purification and the cleansing process is taking place in the matters of the third house, which has to do with the self-expression, which has to do with the communication, which has to do with your efforts, your endeavors, your capacity to take initiative. Again guys, like the way it is taking place in the Anuradha nakshatra. Anuradha is a very forceful nakshatra. Like these are among those people that even like some of the successful immigration millionaire billionaire story can be attached with it. Like we keep on coming across in the Instagram those kind of influencers and motivational people. This guy moved from Iran, he did not have anything, now he is one of the richest wealthiest person in US and paying so much taxes and all. That could be a typical Anuradha story. So I would say that when we talk about the matters of the third house and taking place, this whole churning up taking place in the Anuradha, it has got more to do with that if lately you have not done enough when it comes down to whether towards your siblings, whether this could be in terms of taking chances, taking risk. So you might brood over all these kind of lost opportunity during this time. Again guys, we know this thing that the new moon energy and the influence of the Scorpio has got more to do with the feelings of the hurt. So this could be a case that you might have some bad blood with any close specific friend of yours as well, and suddenly you have to deal with all those people with whom you do not vibe very well. So be very careful if you have to sign any new contract, any new agreement, any documentation, any paperwork during this time. Do that very carefully, do with proper caution and all. And yes guys, in certain ways, because in your case, like the way I've been saying this thing, the way Jupiter is aspecting it, Saturn is aspecting it, there is an exchange with the planet Mars as well of the moon. So whatever feelings initially and the churning up you will go through, it might land you eventually. Ultimately the ultimate objective and intent of that might be to connect you and take your attention and focus towards things which are of higher purpose, rather than you might be getting obsessed with things which are of lower value. And the universe wants you to elevate your focus, your attention towards the things which are meant to serve some higher purpose. So this is how you can see the energy of this new moon taking place in your third house. Now guys, when we talk about from the Libra natives point of view, so guys, in your case now, as you can see that the whole energy is taking place in your second house. So now guys, when we talk about the fourth house, which has to do with our emotions, which has to do with our domestic life, second house has got something to do with all those values, people, things which are very dear which are very close to us, and this whole purification and cleansing is going to be taking place in the second house. Again guys, when we talk about the new like full moon has got more to do with intensifying. The moon is in its full glory, but when it comes down to the new moon, it is sink and shrunk so bad that it has not any potential and capacity to look at the brighter optimistic side of the life. So I mean to say, lot many Libra natives might be brooding over some sort of hurtful feelings, and in all those kind of exchange of bad experiences which you have had within your close immediate circle, with the immediate family members as well. And also guys, even in the matters of, like, this could be a case that you have had some sort of bad investment, and certainly people around you are reminding you of your shortcoming in terms of managing money, managing finances, how you were supposed to take care of the family. So a lot of the people around you, again guys, when it comes down to, I've been saying this thing, you have to understand the innate nature of all the three zodiac water signs. Like Cancer is about the nourishing feelings, Pisces is about sacrifice, letting go in love, but Scorpio is all about the feeling of hurt and all. And guys, in your case, so yes, if I were to say, pertaining to the matters of your emotions, your feelings, any hurtful and betrayal which you would have experienced from the people close to you, you might have to live up to and go through the same painful experiences or memories, and kind of, you know, those pent up emotions and toxic feelings, you might have to live up to them again. That is the first thing. Second thing is that when we talk about the material things, you have to refrain from taking any major financial decision during this time. Lot of the energy and intensity is going there in your second house. But guys, the good part is that this whole purification and cleansing is putting you in a position of competitive advantage, especially in all these areas where some career development with leap and bound is possible. Like this could be a case because, as you can see, that Jupiter is expecting it from the 8th house, Saturn is expecting it, which is a very beneficial planet, from your like 5th house, and this whole alignment is taking place in the nakshatra ruled by the planet Saturn only, in the Anuradha nakshatra, and Moon and Sun are your 10th and the 11th lord. So I would say this thing, that this could be a case that suddenly you are being considered for a position because your senior resigned, or your senior is being shifted to a new department, to a new role and something. So yes guys, in the matters of the material development, there is still a possibility of success. A lot is dependent on what sort of dashas you are currently going through. So if you're already going through dasha of planet which are favorable for you, like this could be case, your Karak planet is the planet Saturn. If you are in the Mahadasha of the Saturn, within Saturn, Mercury is your 9th lord. If you are already in the Antardasha of the Mercury as well, and these two planets are well placed in your chart, then this could be a case that any major development at your career front will put you in a position of advantage. So again guys, and a lot many times when we say this thing that see, new moon has got an energy for sinking too deep and for the revelation of the secrets and something. When we talk about Anuradha again in our scriptures have been explained as secret sinner. See, Anuradha is a nakshatra of devotion and devotional surrender, but somehow Anuradha has also got this capacity, just because the energy of Anuradha takes you away from your kith and kin, from your family and something, and in secrecy indulging into those addiction, those things which you cannot reveal, which you have to hide from the world. So I mean to say, this could be any of the family secret and any of those things which have been hidden from you, and suddenly you got to know about it. This could be a part of the cleansing purification process, but again, whenever the bitter truth comes to us, that tend to remain a matter of shock. So this is how this could be working out for you. So again guys, all what I can say is that be very mindful in the matters of your financial spending. There could be some hurtful kind of experiences and feelings which you have to deal with in your immediate family circle, but when it comes down to, if your running dashas are favorable and standing a chance for some sudden elevation, that possibility is there, that possibility cannot be avoided. Now guys, when we talk about from the point of view of the Scorpio, so Now guys, obviously whether Scorpio is your moon sign or whether Scorpio is your ascendant, somehow you are getting strongly influenced, and I would say out of all the zodiac signs, you are the one who's going to be the epicenter, the target of this unsettling energy taking place in the nature. Now guys, a lot is dependent on what kind of dashas which are also currently active right now. This could be a case that moon is active in the dasha, but that too in the influence of the karmic planets. Like for example, within the moon mahadasha, you are in the Saturn antar or Rahu antar or Ketu antar, or moon is active in the antar dasha, but the mahadasha is of the Saturn, of the Rahu, of the Ketu, then you have to be very careful. We always say this thing that all those things, when we say this thing that anything which happened close to the nature, this could be any animal attack or being stranded in any of the uh, zone where nature is kind of little bit unstable. That generally happens whenever these kind of alignment and energies are taking place. Or this could be a case that it's like you are being targeted, some false allegation. So all these things, like all those kind of toxicity around us somehow target us. So I always say this thing that whenever you are like in this kind of alignment, your self defense has to be high. Second thing is that a lot many times it has also been seen that our departed ancestors also try to touch base with us. So this could be a case that in whatsoever loka they are in, or based on your belief, whether you believe in all these things or not, but generally we say this thing that we get the awareness of that, like in our dreams, in our like suddenly you are being made to think, feel or go through those kind of experiences where you could have taken well care of your family and all. So all these kind of like theme, recurring theme is something which we go through. So we generally say this thing guys, first of all, guarding your own energies becomes very important. So like something of like a crystal like black tourmaline, so a black tourmaline bracelet will be good for you. Like if you're living in India, especially at a time of the new moon, and like 2-3 days before it as well, if your moon like dasha is also on, and especially more than the lagna, you are the Scorpio moon. So in the milk, taking those black kale til, black sesame seed, and then offering it on the shivlinga, that can also be considered. So this way we try to establish peace with the nature, we try to establish peace with our ancestors. And again guys, when we talk about your emotional mental health, that is something which you have to be guarding it very strongly. If you feel that people around you are reminding you of your shortcoming or things which you lack in your personality, or the way you have not lived up to your promise or your expectation, so just let it pass. Do not fight with people, do not try to justify your stance, because this is going to be the recurring theme which you have to keep on dealing with, at least till the time the energy of this new moon is going to be at its peak. Along with that guys, when we talk about in the matters of your like, because in your case the whole energy is coming in for the Scorpio natives, moon becomes your ninth lord and sun becomes your 10th lord. So I would say that there is still this capacity that all this conflict and surge of energy which you will be going through or which you have to deal with might have some higher purpose to fulfill as well. Like this could be a case that you're not living up to the kind of responsibilities you need to carry in order to take care of your loved ones and all. So yes, all those kind of churning up is something which you guys have to deal with. In your case, your moon sign lord, the whole exchange or the parivartan is taking place between your first house and the ninth house. So that in itself means that you are under the guidance of the higher powers of the guardian angels. This could be your departed ancestor. So it's not like that they are hard bent on harming you or hurting you. It's just like that there are like certain areas of your life which needs to be prioritized, and this whole purification and cleansing which will take place, it will be happening in this domain only. So I would say that stay very rooted, very firm in your religious discipline, religious austerities, and I would say this thing that just try not to fight back if people are putting you on the spot. Just gracefully, diplomatically deal with the situation and just pass through these certain sensitive days. That's all what I can say. Now guys, when we talk about from the Sagittarius natives point of view, so guys, in your case it is going to be taking place in your 12th house. So yes guys, for all the fire sign, it's going to be a matter of vulnerability and concern, whether for the Aries where it is taking place in the 8th house, for the Leo taking place in the 4th house, now for you guys as well. So yes guys, to begin with, 12th house is like um, a lot of the Sagittarius natives are going to be on the radar of some sudden scam call or sudden expense which will come knocking on your doors. So regarding that area, you have to be well prepared. A lot is dependent on what kind of dashas you are currently going through. If Mars in any way, in any capacity is also active right now in your antar dasha and all, so the possibility of that is going to be very high. And again guys, see, the good part is that, like the way I've been saying this thing, that the whole theme and attached energy of the Anuradha nakshatra has got more to do with resettlement, and especially it has got more to do with the foreign land as well. Or this could be a case that the way it has been described in our scriptures, that Anuradha has been explained as the secret sinner, like the kind of activities we get indulged in when we are by ourselves or far away from our known, our relatives and all. So I mean to say, there is going to be some sort of purification, some sort of cleansing which you will go through in the department of the 12th house, like all those kind of things which you are dealing in secrecy and you feel that no one knows about it. I suddenly develop this habit of smoking weed or doing drugs or drinking something which is prohibited in my religion, which is prohibited in my family, and no one knows about it. So the purification cleansing might take place in this way, that suddenly all those things and the kind of sins which you are hiding might suddenly come out in the public's eye, public's attention. So yes, feeling of being being put on the spot is something which the Sagittarius native have to deal with. I already mentioned this thing, that this energy is making you a little bit vulnerable, like sleep could be a little bit disturbed. There's a high possibility of that, being entangled or being targeted by the scammers and something, that potential is going to be high. But guys, the good part about this whole alignment is that, as you can see that in your case, moon has got a rulership over your 8th house as well, and sun has got a rulership over your 9th house as well. So that also tells about that generally whenever our ancestors try to establish a connection with us, and generally that happens when some sort of dreams. So be very mindful, be very cautious and careful the kind of dreams you are getting during this time. Again guys, because the way it is taking place in the Anuradha nakshatra, ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is also expecting this Scorpio sign back from the 3rd house as well. So I mean to say that there might be all those areas where you need to focus your energies, and you are just being brooding too much over living in the past. So suddenly your attention and energies will go in the development which you need to be a part of. So this could be a case that there will be those areas and matters of purification, cleansing, looking at your demons of the past, but all of that is taking place in order to let you know that how much you are lagging behind, like in order to move forward, which all are the people you need to be getting in touch with, you need to collaborate with, how you can redefine your moves, your initiatives. So this is how this whole energy is going to be influencing you. Like the way guys, have you been living in India? My recommendation is going to be, in the raw milk, take the black sesame seed, kale til, and then offer it to the Shivlinga, and do some donation, especially like any of the charities donation done in the name of your ancestors to your family name generally prove to be very therapeutic whenever this kind of alignment is taking place. So yes guys, be very mindful, be very careful of your expenses. Do not brood too much over the past hurtful feelings and all, and be very mindful if there has been something which is considered as very unethical and you are being a part of that. Suddenly if it comes to everyone's attention, your secrets get exposed. So that this is how the whole energy of this new moon is going to be influencing the Sagittarius natives. Now guys, for the Capricorn natives, in your case, this new moon energy is going to be influencing your 11th house. So that in itself means that we know that the energy of the new moon has got more to do with sinking too deep. Now 11th house, which is the house of your goals, 11th house is the house of your ultimate eventual progress in the life. So lot many people will be surrounded by the thoughts of how well you have been doing in your life. The whole career trajectory or the progress of your life might be a matter of concern for lot many Capricorn natives during the time of this new moon. Again guys, any new opportunity which comes to you, any new proposal which comes to you, any development which takes place in the matters of your social circle, take it with a pinch of salt. Do not be too proactive to jump on towards any first thing which is going to be coming to you. Second thing is that, because guys, in your case, moon has got a rulership over your seventh house as well. So like generally we say this thing that if you have been, or your expectations have been set very high because of any promise given to you by your partner, or this could be because of in any of the commercial goals in your business aspiration and all, you have been chasing and you are very hopeful for something, and suddenly if this thing does not work out. So my recommendation to you is that, see, whenever we talk about the energy of the eclipse, energy of the new moon and all, it has got more to do with the power of the forces which are beyond our control. So if something happens where your partner has not lived up to the expectation, so do not be like too hard on your partner, because guys, the irony for the Capricorn native is that your seventh lord goes through debilitation in the most auspicious house in terms of the material development and the wish fulfillment. And just because this whole parivartan yoga taking place between the Mars and the moon, and Saturn giving its aspect, Jupiter giving its aspect, all of that is giving only this indication that yes, there is going to be some sort of unsettled kind of energy which you have to deal with in the matters of your 11th house. Second thing is that guys, because in your case it is going to be taking place in the Anuradha nakshatra. We all know the energy of the Anuradha nakshatra, which has to do with, like, you know, all those kind of like this could be sins which we are hiding from the world. Anuradha, same like Punarvasu, is a nakshatra which has been given a lot of weightage when it comes down to settling down again, like trying to always working hard and trying to establish yourself, like resettlement, attempts to resettle. Second thing is that just because Anuradha has also got this tendency to take away people away from the birthplace, away from your homeland. Again guys, the only way we can say this thing that the impact is going to be working out very precisely in your case, that how strongly your life is aligned with the energy of the Anuradha nakshatra. Or this could be a case that is moon active in your dasha system right now. This could be a case that you are also right now in the within the moon mahadasha, in the Saturn, in the Rahu or the Ketu antardasha, or you are in the moon antardasha, but the mahadasha is also of a karmic planet, of the Saturn, of the Rahu and Ketu. Then it is going to be getting very strongly applicable to you, that somehow the forces of the nature, or this could be the unsettling energy of the nature, might make you prone and vulnerable towards, this could be wrong decision, this could be things working against your wish, against your will, or brooding over the past because of some bad blood with any of your, this could be elder sibling, this could be any close friend of yours and all. So my recommendation to the Capricorn native is that try not to like give your nod to any first thing which comes to you. Do not be too harsh on yourself the way you are progressing in the life. It is just a phase. If you will let go it gracefully, in times to come it is going to be creating some very good news for you as well. Because guys, we all know this thing, the way the whole transition of the planet is now going to be taking place, it is actually giving you a position of advantage as well. Your ascendant lord somehow is in a very faster pace, is going to be completing its transit in your second house. Saturn is already like right now out of its retrograde motion as well on 15th November. So the point which I am saying over here is that whatever is going to be taking place, any emotional churning which will take place during the time of this new moon, it will give you the higher purpose, or it will give you a clarity that wheresoever your efforts are lacking, where you shall be prioritizing your efforts, what kind of people and group you need to be a part of that. So this new moon energy and this whole emotional churning will set path for the things which are meant for you in times to come. Now guys, when we talk about from the Aquarius natives point of view, so guys, in your case, this whole energy alignment is taking place in your 10th house. And it is taking place in the Anuradha nakshatra. The lord of Anuradha is the planet Saturn, which is there in your first house, and Saturn is also aspecting this Scorpio moon as well in the transit. So I mean to say, the way whole energy around you is contributing to your 10th house, like Jupiter from the 4th house, and Mars is kind of making an exchange with this moon, and Mars that too is looking from another Artha triangle from the 6th house. So all of that is giving this indication that yes, in the matters of your career, you might stand a chance for some sudden clarity and sudden like this could be a development in your career front as well. Again guys, understand this thing, that whatsoever is going to be taking place, the initial first like impact of that is going to be filled with feelings of hurt, betrayal, or this could be a case that you are rooting and hoping for something where your bosses let you down, but eventually you will get to know that it might have some higher purpose to serve to you. The second thing is that, because you know this thing that Anuradha has got a lot to do with, like all those people who are in any capacity, they are living away from their birthplace, people who are like strongly connected with devotional measures, somehow comes in the purview of the Anuradha as well. So let's say for example, if your major concern right now is of that you are like on some work permit and all, you have already reached the foreign land, but now your major concern right now is what you can do to settle down in that country, what you can do to settle down in this new foreign environment. So I would say this thing that there will be some clarity. Again guys, I'm repeating this thing, it is going to be initially a matter of, this could be heartburn, this could be too much mental emotional anguish which you will go through, but it will only put you in the right path. This could be a case that you have now in a very comfortable zone in things which are undermining your potential or which somehow lacks your worth, and this whole new moon churning up will put you in the path or will take your attention and priority towards the things where you shall be putting your focus on. So yes guys, this is how the whole energy and alignment is taking place. And generally guys, I'll be very honest with you, like whenever these kind of things happen where suddenly you lose out on some project, suddenly you lose out on some client, so all of that generally happens whenever planets are in this sort of alignment. But all what I can say for you guys is that whatever churning up will happen, it has some higher purpose and some higher meaning to serve to you. Guys, if you have been watching this whole discussion at a time when I was explaining the results for the fire signs, for the Aries, Leo and the Sagittarius, I was not that diplomatic. I did not sugarcoat my prediction, because in that case somehow the energy taking place in the 8th house, 4th house, 12th house is making you vulnerable. In your case, the vulnerability still stand, but with some good intent in times to come to serve, to fulfill. So that is all what I can say. And yes guys, guard your public image, and if you have to, like, do not be a part of something during this time which could embroil you into controversy, into scandal. That is all what I can say. Now guys, when we talk about from the Pisces natives point of view, so guys, in your case this whole churning up is taking place in the matters of your 9th house. Now guys, when we talk about the 9th house, somehow like the time of the new moon is strongly connected with our paying our dues towards our ancestors, like showing our gratitude towards our ancestors, and somehow 9th house is also deeply connected with it as well. So I mean to say, yes guys, when we talk about doing any charities, doing any donation, that will become very important for you if during this time only, like I would say that from 29th till the 3rd or 4th of December, if you're gonna be taking any long distance travel and all, so the travel might be filled with inconveniences and discomfort. So over there as well you have to be a little bit careful. And guys, the way we say this thing, that the houses which gives us hope and which gives us optimism, that is generally connected with the 11th house and the 9th house. And just because this whole energy and alignment taking place in your 9th house, so there could be those possibility and case that suddenly you will start lacking faith in the higher powers, or there might be some issues with the father as well, and all those kind of goals which you have set for yourself and you are pursuing them with conviction and all. So during the time of the new moon, like this could be a case that doubting them, being in this mood of self-doubt and all. Also guys, whenever planets are aligned in such a way, because in your case there is an exchange between your fifth house and the ninth house, so as much as it is spiritually elevating, but when we talk about taking a leap of faith, so over there I will not recommend the Pisces natives to take very strong chances when your ninth house is a epicenter of the new moon. That is all what I can say. But yes guys, in certain ways, if I were to say, this whole alignment is a part of some higher universal plan, and we say this thing that all the purification, cleansing and churning up which will take place, it will serve some higher purpose. This could be a case that you are not living up to your best potential, or this could be a case that even the divinity wants to support you but you are putting your efforts in the wrong direction. This could be a case that I'm supposed to be successful as an astrologer and I'm trying to find a job as an accountant. That is not what my destiny is, and how the bhagya and the good stars will support me when I am in the wrong path. So I mean to say, if you are being in this kind of situation where the universe wants to support you but your path has been wrong, so this churning up will actually put you in the right path. The possibility of that is going to be very high. So yes guys, that is all what I can say for this new moon energy for all the zodiac signs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account.